Welcome back, speed demons, engineering purists, and witnesses to a legend's return to Chrono Wheels, where we explore the machines that define velocity and the philosophies that define their creators. There was a time when the battle for fastest production motorcycle was a gentleman's war. And in that war, one machine reigned supreme, the Honda CBR 1100XX Super Blackbird. It was not a brutal, raw, or savage machine. It was a gentleman's express. A 300 km/h bullet train wrapped in a comfortable, sophisticated package. It was the undisputed king, a testament to Honda's philosophy of perfect, overwhelming, yet controlled engineering. And then, the gentleman's agreement was broken. A brute entered the ring. From the dark depths of Kawasaki Heavy Industries came the Ninja H2, a monster armed with a supercharger that spat in the face of refinement. It was not a gentleman, it was a tyrant. It was raw, visceral, and unapologetically violent. And with its mechanical shriek, it stole the crown of speed. NNFOR years, Honda, the gentleman, watched. They built the incredible Fireblade, a scalpel for the track, but they left the ultimate hyperbike throne to the supercharged brute. The world thought Honda had conceded, that the era of the Blackbird was a fond, distant memory, a chapter closed. NNBUT. You do not poke a sleeping giant. Honda was not conceding. They were reloading. They decided that if the rules of the gentleman's agreement were broken, then the gentleman would have to return, not as a gentleman, but as an executioner. This is the 2026 Honda CBR 1100XX Super Blackbird Turbo, and it is not here to compete with the H2. It is here to end it. Not Kawasaki chose a supercharger for its instant, raw punch. Honda, the masters of Formula One and automotive turbocharging, has chosen a more sophisticated and far deadlier weapon, a Variable Geometry Turbocharger, VGT, and at the heart of this beast is a completely new 1150cc, liquid-cooled, DOHC, inline-four engine. But bolted to its side is a compact, electronically controlled VGT turbocharger. Why is this a game-changer? A normal turbo suffers from crippling lag. A VGT uses electronically controlled vanes inside the turbo housing to change its characteristics on the fly, low RPM. The vanes are closed, mimicking a small, fast-spooling turbo, eliminating lag and delivering a massive, instant wave of torque right off idle. NNHIGH RPM. The vanes open, allowing the system to flow colossal amounts of air with zero restriction. No lag and seemingly limitless top-end power. NNTHE Jekyll. They didn't stop there. They've combined this system with their most sacred and brilliant technology, VTEC-N. This is the new VTEC-T, Turbo VTEC system. The transformation is calculated and terrifying in low RPM/low boost. The engine runs on a mild cam profile. It is as smooth and comfortable as a normal Blackbird, a docile, comfortable sports tourer. It's the gentleman, NNHIGH boost engagement. The moment the VGT spools up and boost pressure hits its peak, the VTEC system engages, switching to a high-lift, high-duration turbo cam profile. NNTHE result is a transformation that will redefine hyperbike acceleration. It is a 130 horsepower gentleman one moment, and the instant the turbo and VTEC engage, it becomes a 250 horsepower monster the next. It's a sophisticated assassin that hides its true, overwhelming power until the perfect moment to strike. And to keep this 250 horsepower charge cool, an absolute necessity for sustained high speed, it uses a massive, high-efficiency, front-mounted intercooler, something the air-to-air cooled H2 fundamentally lacks. The original Blackbird was legendary for its stability. The new one is designed to be stable at over 400 km/h. Forget the heavy aluminum frame. The new Blackbird uses a carbon fiber monocoque chassis. The entire frame structure is hollow, serving as the massive pressurized airbox for the turbo, and it uses the turbocharged engine as a stressed member. This makes the chassis unbelievably light and phenomenally rigid. A platform engineered for absolute velocity, NTHE swingarm, is a new, lightweight, single-sided aluminum unit, dramatically extended by 40 mm compared to a standard superbike, for absolutely unshakable, linear high-speed stability, Active Aerodynamics, H-AAS, taming the wind. This is the critical element that separates intelligent speed from brute force. The Honda Active Aerodynamics, H-AAS, is not just a pair of static wings. This is a dynamic, intelligent system that uses the wind as an accomplice. Fairing wings. The wings on the side fairings are fully active. They remain flush with the bodywork for ultra-low drag at normal speeds, but as the bike accelerates past 280 km per hour, 175 miles per hour, they articulate outwards, generating massive downforce to keep the front wheel planted, neutralizing lift at the tires. Most critical moment in tail rudders. The tail section features two integrated, active rudders, inspired by aviation stability controls. In high-speed corners, they subtly adjust, yaw control, to counteract instability and increase tracking precision. Air brake function. Under extreme braking, these tail rudders and side wings deploy at a steep acute angle, acting as a massive air brake to pull the bike down to sane speeds with supernatural stability and speed. This is where the Blackbird humiliates the H2. The H2 is a raw, analog brute focused on the engine. The Blackbird is a sophisticated, digital killer that integrates the rider into the system. It is equipped with Honda's top-tier electronic suite, derived from the Fireblade SP and their MotoGP program, governed by an ultra-precise 9-axis IM suspension. Show Smart EC 3.0 semi-active electronic suspension. The system doesn't just react, it uses predictive AI to anticipate the road's undulations and the rider's inputs, adjusting damping and rebound in mere milliseconds for continuous, perfect tire contact. And brakes. Brembo Stylema R calipers, governed by a new cornering ABS turbo algorithm that specifically accounts for the unique dynamics of engine braking, regenerative braking from the turbo spool down, and the massive downforce provided by the H-AAS Honda selectable turbo. This is not just traction control, this is predictive boost control. The rider can choose how the 250 horsepower is delivered, from a smooth progressive rain map to the all-out violent VMAX map, which holds the VGT vanes closed slightly longer for maximum boost pressure. NTHE cockpit. A massive, 10-inch, full-color TFT display, worthy of a luxury car, with full smartphone integration, navigation, and even a G-force meter, providing the rider with telemetry worthy of an astronaut. And so we arrive at the ultimate showdown. The 2-mile runway. The tyrant versus the returned king. NTHE Kawasaki H2. The light turns green. The H2 leaps off the line. Its supercharger gives it an instant, brutal hit. The rider is physically fighting the bike, managing the chaotic front wheel lift and the raw torque delivery. The sound is a glorious mechanical shriek. It is a violent, thrilling, and terrifying experience, defined by savagery. NTHE Honda CBR1100XX Turbo. The light turns green. The Blackbird launches smoothly, precisely. For the first fraction of a second, it looks like it's losing. The VTEC-T is in its low cam profile. And then, the VGT spools to pressure. VTEC engage. It is not a spike. It is a relentless, suffocating tidal wave of power. The bike doesn't explode. It simply begins to accelerate at a rate that seems to defy the very laws of physics. The rider isn't fighting the bike. They are a passenger on a guided missile. As they pass 300 km per hour, 186 miles per hour. The H2, with its raw aerodynamics, starts to feel nervous, light, fighting the massive air resistance. The Blackbird, however, is just getting started. The H-AAS system deploys. The active wings generate downforce. The active tail rudders keep it locked on its line. The H2 is a brute fighting the wind. The Blackbird is a surgical tool using the wind and it pulls, alongside the H2, its turbine-smooth turbo engine sound, almost silent compared to the H2's supercharger shriek. And then, with an almost insulting calmness, the Blackbird pulls away. NTHE 2026 Honda CBR1100XX Super Blackbird Turbo is not just a new hyperbike. It is a statement of philosophy. It is Honda proving that you do not need to be a raw, unrefined brute to be the king. It proves that true, ultimate power can be sophisticated. It can be intelligent. It can be smooth. The Kawasaki H2 is a masterpiece of savagery. But the Blackbird is a masterpiece of engineering. The tyrant's reign of terror is over. The true king has returned, and he is wearing a black suit and King is back. What are your thoughts? Is the sophisticated turbocharged power of the Blackbird the true path to hyperbike supremacy? Or does the raw, supercharged soul of the H2 still reign in your heart? Let us know in the comments below. If you believe the true king has returned, smash that like button and enlist in the Chrono Wheels movement.